I'm Ryan from ExtremeTerrain.com, and this is my review of the Russell brake line kit fitting all 2007 to 2012 JKs. There are a couple different versions of this kit available in different lengths. So there's a kit for those of you with 0 to 1 inches of lift, 1 to 4 inches of lift, and 4 to 6 inches of lift. So make sure you get the right one for your Jeep. Today we are going to talk through the installation of this brake line kit, which is a very simple 1 out of 3 wrenches. These are going to bolt directly in place of your factory soft lines. You will have to bleed out the brake system because you'll be opening it up and introducing air into the system. We're also going to talk through the construction and a few of the features of these lines. A new set of brake lines like this are for those of you who have a lift on your Jeep, who like to go wheeling with your front sway bar disconnected and need a little bit of additional brake line length so the lines don't get pulled taut and, God forbid, break on the trail, having you lose your brakes. Now, when you do install a lift kit, a lot of those kits will come with extended brake line brackets. And in the rear of the Jeep, it's very easy to lower down the hard line where it mounts onto the frame to give you a little bit of additional length out of your factory soft lines. However, up front, if you do end up using one of those relocation brackets, you generally have to straighten out your factory pre-bent hard lines, which isn't something I personally like to do. So I always recommend getting a good set of extended soft brake lines to give you that additional brake line length that you need, and you won't have any worries on the trail if you are going to pull a line tight. As far as the construction goes, these are a braided stainless steel brake line with a rubber coating on the outside to just provide a little bit of additional abrasion resistance. Now, oftentimes people will say that they get a nicer pedal feel out of a stainless brake line because it doesn't expand like a rubber soft brake line will when you're hitting the brakes. And while that may be true, I think a lot of that additional pedal feel that people get when they do put on a new set of soft brake lines like this is just bleeding out the old fluid in the system and getting some good, fresh, clean fluid in. Either way, while you have your system apart, this is a great time to do a brake flush. You're going to give yourself the best possible pedal feel and make sure that your brake lines have a nice long life by keeping fresh fluid in there. Brake fluid does absorb water from the air. It will get water into it, which then can boil when your brakes heat up or just give you a bit of a sloppy pedal feel. So again, changing out to these new brake lines and also doing a brake fluid flush and getting all the air out of your system at the same time is going to give you a good, strong pedal feel. But having a brake line set like this, again, is really for those of you who are off-roading and need that additional length. All of those other benefits that you might get are fringe benefits. This kit is really complete. It comes with brackets that are going to go in place of your factory brackets on your frame. It comes with the clips to hold your brake line into those brackets. It has a factory style block on the other end. This does come with the crush washers to make sure that everything gets nice and tight without any leaks. So it is a very, very complete kit. Now, this kit is going to be a little bit more expensive than some of the other ones on the market. And when I take a look at the other ones that have all of the same features, have all the same brackets and the clips and the crush washers, there isn't too much of a difference that I can find between those kits that are $40 less than this and this kit here. All I can say is that Russell does make a really high quality product. These are a very well built set of brake lines. However, there are other ones that appear to be as well built and will save you a couple of dollars. As for the installation, as I mentioned before, this is a simple 1 out of 3 wrench installation that you can get done in under 2 hours, and that does include bleeding out the brakes. All you'll need to do to get this installed is to disconnect your factory soft brake lines from the brake calipers and from the hard lines, disconnect the factory brake line bracket off of your frame, install your new brake line bracket, install your new brake line, and finally install the clips that are included with this setup. Again, make sure you use the new crush washers that do come with this kit to make sure that you don't have any leaks. Once all of that is done, it's a simple matter of bleeding out your brakes. That can be done in a variety of different ways, from the traditional 2-person method of having somebody sit in the Jeep and pump the brakes while somebody else works the bleeder. You can use a gravity bleed method as long as you keep your fluid reservoir nice and full, or of course you can use a pressure or a vacuum bleeder. It's up to you, no matter how you decide to do it. As long as you're getting fresh fluid in the system and getting all of the air out, you're gonna have a nice hard pedal feel. So as far as tools necessary to get this done, just your traditional hand tools are going to be necessary, but make sure that you have some .3 brake fluid with you as well, and depending on your method of brake bleeding, you might need an extra set of hands or a bleeder. As I mentioned before, this set of brake lines does come in right around $200, which is a little bit more than some of the other systems on the market. Now there's other brake lines, they also look to be well built. They'll include your brackets, your clips, your crush washers. So if you like the Russell name, if you're comfortable with these, if you do feel more comfortable spending a little bit more money because this is a brake component and you want to feel like you're getting the best one on the market, then these are certainly available. However, if you do want to save yourself $40 and go with one of the slightly less expensive kits that still includes the stainless lines, all of your brackets, all of your clips, all of your washers, those ones are going to work very well also. So if you do take your JK off-road and you want to have a little bit of additional brake line length to ensure that you're not going to pull a brake line taut while you're flexing with those sway bars disconnected, this set of brake lines is going to give you that additional length and be very well built, including all of the components you'll need. So that's my review of the Russell brake line kit fitting all 2007 to 2012 JKs that you can find right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.